In the last class, we have discussed about the applications of the Gauss law. By means of the Gauss law, we calculate the electric field intensity due to the inputting line charge as well as a charged sheet which is placed on the XY plane. Now, in this lecture, we are going to see that how do you find the electric field intensity due to the spherical shell charge. Spherical shell charge by using the Gauss law. So once again we are defining the Gauss law. It states that the amount of flux leaving from the Gaussian surface is equal to the charge enclosed by the Gaussian surface. Now by means of a Gauss law, we are going to find out what is the electric field intensity due to the spherical shell with a charge. Now take the hollow spherical shell with a radius of small a. The charge density on the spherical shell, you take it as a rho s. Rho s nothing but coulombs per meter square, where rho s is nothing but a surface charge density. In this manner, the charge is uniformly distributed over the shell, spherical shell. The inside of the spherical shell, there is no, it is simply hollow. There is no charge inside the shell. Now we are going to find out what is the electric field intensity due to the hollow spherical shell. In this case, we are going to find out the electric field intensity. In short form, we are writing electric field intensity, EFI. EFI is nothing but electric field intensity. So electric field intensity, the electric field intensity due to the spherical shell. In this case, we are going to calculate the electric field intensity in three different cases. One is outside of the shell. The second case is on the shell. Third case is inside of the shell. So let me start the electric field intensity outside of the cell here. Suppose we want to find out the electric field intensity at this point. Now we take the Gaussian surface as a sphere with a radius of r. The radius of the sphere is r. This is r. That take the small r. So where we are finding the electric field intensity at this point or any point on the Gaussian surface. Any point on the Gaussian surface. Now we are interested to find the electric field intensity at this point. Here you take the differential surface area. Take the differential surface area that we are representing as a ds bar. Next we are to observe from this charged surface how the field is coming. The field is always in the radial direction, in this direction only. The field is always in a radial direction. Because we have taken the spherical coordinate system to find the electric field intensity due to the hollow spherical cell. So here, whatever the field is coming from the hollow spherical cell, always in the direction of the radius of the sphere. Next, see here we have taken the differential surface. To apply the Gauss law, already we know the Gauss law. Gauss law states that the amount of flux coming from the Gaussian surface is equal to charge enclosed by the Gaussian surface. This amount of flux leaving from the Gaussian surface, that we can write it as a surface integral of d bar dot ds bar equal to charge enclosed by the Gaussian surface. This is surface integral. This quantity is representing the how much flux is leaving from the Gaussian surface. How much flux is leaving from the Gaussian surface. Here the d bar is nothing but a flux density. This we can write it as a d into a r bar. So why you have taken the AR bar means the flux is in the direction of radius of sphere. So the direction of the flux is also the same as in the direction of a radius of the sphere. That's why here we have taken the d bar equal to d into ar bar. Next, differential surface area, ds bar. See, this is the surface area which is perpendicular to the radius of a sphere. Now we have a formula for the surface area perpendicular to the radius of sphere in a spherical coordinate system, that is r square sin theta d theta d pi ar bar. Ar bar. So this is representing the differential surface area which is perpendicular to the radius of a sphere, which is perpendicular to the radius of a sphere. Now we are finding the d bar dot ds bar. D bar dot ds bar. So why we are finding the d bar dot ds bar? We want to find out the surface integral of d bar dot ds bar. That's why here we are finding the d bar dot ds bar. If you find the d bar dot ds bar, d r square sin theta d theta d pi ar bar dot ar bar. This value becomes a 1. The dot product of same unit vector becomes a 1 in any coordinate system. Now d bar dot ds bar equal to d into r square sin theta d theta. Now we are integrating the throughout the surface. This is nothing but a differential flux. Nothing but the flux coming only from this area. Now we want to find out the how much flux is leaving from the total surface. So for that one, we are integrating this one, surface integral on both sides. This also going to integrate surface integral. Surface integral is nothing but a double integral. Now this we can write it as a d r square is constant, take outside, integral of sin theta. Theta will be changing from 0 to pi into integral of pi will be changing from 0 to 2 pi d pi. See here I directly put this step directly. Already I have seen this one in previous derivations. So here dr square equal to integral theta to theta vary from 0 to pi sin theta, pi vary from 0 to 2 pi d pi. So if we complete this integration, we are getting the value of dr square. This value we are getting as a 2. This value we are getting as 2. This value we are getting as a 2 pi. So finally you are getting the value of dr square 4 pi. This is equal to charge enclosed by the Gaussian surface. dr square 4 pi equal to charge enclosed by the Gaussian surface from this equation. Now we are going to find out the how much charge is enclosed by the Gaussian surface. See here, how much charge is enclosed by this Gaussian surface means how much charge is there on this surface. The total charge is enclosed by the Gaussian surface. See here, the charge density on this shell is rho s. Is equal to rho s is nothing but charge, surface charge density. This is equal to dq by ds, where dq is nothing but a differential charge, where ds is nothing but a differential surface area on this sphere. Because we want to find out how much charge is there on this sphere. Now the dq equal to rho s into ds. To find the total charge, take the integration both sides. Q equal to surface integral of rho s into ds. Now this rho s is take outside, rho s into ds is nothing but a surface area of this shell, that is equal to 4 pi a square. 4 pi a square. So Q equal to, now Q equal to rho s into 4 pi a square, where 4 pi a square is nothing but a surface area of the sphere. Nothing but this much of charge is placed on this sphere. Now this you take it as a equation 2. Now this you take it as a equation 1. This, see, again come to the equation 2. Q is nothing but a charge on the sphere. The charge on this sphere. See here, QC is nothing but a charge enclosed by the Gaussian surface. Charge enclosed by the Gaussian surface. See, charge enclosed by the Gaussian surface equal to the charge on a inner sphere. Now this is equal to QC equal to Q. Now from this equation 1 and 2, you can write the dr square 4 pi equal to rho s 4 pi a square. This is nothing but charge enclosed by the Gaussian surface. Now 4 pi gets cancelled. 4 pi gets cancelled. Now we want to find out the D, nothing but a flux density. Flux density equal to rho s a square by r square. This is the magnitude. Now we want to find out the direction. D bar equal to rho s into a square by r square into ar bar. This is the flux density at this point due to the spherical shell. Spherical shell. Now we are going to find out what is the electric field intensity at this point. Already we know the relation between the flux density to electric field intensity. E bar equal to d bar by epsilon. This we can write it as a, in place of d bar, rho s a square by r square epsilon a r bar. This is the final expression for the electric field intensity outside of the shell. Outside of the shell. Now, first case is over. This is case 1. In this case, we have taken case 1 as a, what is the electric field intensity outside of the shell. The second case, in case 2, electric field intensity on the shell, on this point, nothing but here. Now we have to select a Gaussian surface which is passing through that point. Now in this case, what is the Gaussian surface becomes a, that exactly will be lying on the shell. Nothing but here. The point here, the Gaussian surface also will be coinciding to this point here P. Now in second case, we want to find out what is the electric field intensity on the sphere. So here, now we have to select a Gaussian surface which is passing through the point P. In this case, the Gaussian surface is the sphere. The Gaussian surface is the sphere. Now here, this is R. In second case, R equal to A. R equal to A. Nothing but a, here R is nothing but a, the distance between the point P and origin, nothing but center of a shell. Center of a shell. See, in this expression, if we take in place of R, if we take the A, now this is equal to E bar equal to d bar by epsilon rho s a square by a square gets cancelled. This is equal to d bar by epsilon. This is the equation 2. This is nothing but a, this d bar by epsilon equal to rho s a square by this is equal to rho s, a square by a square, this is equal to rho s by epsilon a r square. This is the electric field intensity on the surface of a sphere. This is the electric field intensity on the surface of a sphere. In third case, now we want to find out what is the electric field intensity inside of the shell. Now we are taking the point here. Now we select a Gaussian surface as a sphere which is passing through the point P where we have to find out the electric field intensity. Third case, this is the point P. This is R. This is the small r. In case 3, we are trying to find what is the electric field intensity inside of the charged shell. So that's why we have taken the Gaussian surface that is sphere which is shown with a dotted line in the diagram. Now we want to apply the Gauss law for this Gaussian surface. See, whenever we apply the Gauss law for this one, from the Gauss law, flux leaving from the Gaussian surface equal to charge enclosed by the Gaussian surface. In third case, this is the halo sphere. The Gaussian surface does not enclosing any charge. Halo sphere means only the charge is there only on the surface of the sphere, on surface only. Inside of the shell, there is no charge is there. So the Gaussian surface does not enclosing any charge. So this quantity becomes a 0. Charge enclosed by the Gaussian surface becomes a 0. The flux also the 0. If the flux is 0 means there is no meaning for the electric field intensity. Nothing but the electric field intensity inside the shell is 0. Third case. Case 3, we have taken the point inside of the shell. So psi equal to QC, where charge enclosed by the Gaussian surface equal to 0. So the electric field intensity inside the shell is 0. Inside the shell is 0. Now we are going to draw how the electric field intensity will be vary due to the charged halo shell. See here, at this point you have taken as the y-axis. This is the x-axis. On the x-axis you have taken the r. Nothing but r is nothing but the distance between the point P to the center of the shell. So the P is defined as the electric field intensity where we have to find out. Now here, at the inside of the shell, so up to this point, if the R value equal to A, nothing but if the R value less than the A, the electric field intensity inside the shell is 0. When R value equal to radius of a shell, R value equal to the radius of shell, nothing but case 2, that is rho s by epsilon A above. This is magnitude, nothing but if you are getting here, up to. This magnitude we have taken as a rho s by epsilon. This magnitude. As the R value greater than the radius, this value is nothing but the radius of a shell. The R value greater than the radius of the shell, that is case 1, that is inversely proportional to the R scale. Nothing but in this manner it will be decreased of some distance. This electric field intensity come to the 0. So in this manner we have calculated the electric field intensity due to the charged halo shell. shell. In this case, we have taken the three cases. One is outside of the shell, on the shell, and inside of the shell. So finally, we have drawn the variation of the electric field intensity due to the charged shell, that is represented here. And the y-axis we have taken as a E bar, nothing but electric field intensity due to the electric field intensity due to the charged shell. See, inside the shell, there is no electric field intensity. On the shell, the electric field intensity equal to rho S by epsilon. As the point is away from the shell, the electric field intensity will be decreases drastically, inversely proportional to the scale of the distance, nothing but a E bar equal to R square. E bar is proportional to 1 by R square.